Welcome to the AI Riff, where we cut through the noise and break down the top AI stories of the week with real talk and real relevance. No hype, no fluff, just a vendor agnostic take on what's actually shaping your world today. Whether you're in tech, lending, or just trying to make sense of the headlines, we're here to separate the wheat from the chaff and the facts from fiction. Now let's get started with your hosts, Mario Di Benedetto, Rob Katz, Ruth Lee, and me, Kyle Myers. We hope you enjoy this episode of the AI Riff.
Episode 27.
We're back.
It's like we never left.
And if it seems like we didn't, you might be dreaming. Yeah. So, Mario, what are we going to talk about now? I know the last episode was a screamer. It was great.
Yeah.
It was
so
lots of content.
We're going to lean a little on the New York Times, and they did an article about their words, not mine. College students are flocking to the new major. Shocker, AI.
Oh, is that like learn to code? You're gonna survive for the rest of your life.
I have said this, and I'm old enough that this actually is true. When I was in my teens, my father did say, no matter what you do, get into computers. It wasn't a bad living.
But so computers is general. That's good. But when they said learn to code, it's the wave of the future. That's the guys making the money. I think my local, one of my son's good friends, is an electrician, and I think he's doing way better than a lot of the guys I know.
Well, that's a separate point, though. There's plenty of trades where you can make an excellent living, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So what are the college kids doing coming out of college? They're saying AI degree and I win?
So first of all, it's a little bit misleading because they're saying the major AI. They actually use examples where there's a university that stood up a whole new college around AI. So there's AI courses, AI majors, and an entire college around AI.
So I can major in Kimi?
Kimi 2.
Kimi 2?
Kimi K2, the open source. So I don't think that's news. I mean, it's news. Hey, New York Times calls it news. I'm going to call it news. I don't think that's news it's like shocking or anything else. I think the question for us that we can start with is, okay, so somebody comes out of college, and let's say they come into your organization, and let's say they lived a college career that had AI everywhere. Like, they were told to chat GPT everything. They were okay with letting them write stuff, like whatever the rules are now, right? And they come out and they've lived with AI as like just a second nature. What's that going to mean in a company if you bring somebody like that in?
To compliance scares the heck out of them.
Well, I think that, having taken a number of courses, right now they still feel very much about theory and prompt engineering, right? I mean, and that's a whole lot of what they are. But I think that as a business, the things that we care about deeply and that we would want somebody who came out of school with that would be applied reasoning, workflow orchestration, the ability to find and detect bias, as we've talked about in many others, which is, how do we manage, GRC, governance, risk, and compliance? How does that work? And those would be the things that would actually provide a lot of value. I don't think that those frameworks are completely baked yet. And so I don't know how you would have a 4 whole year degree on something that, I took a 6-month class at MIT and I thought it was a lot, but it's mostly because I was learning what a RAG and LLM and things like that meant.
So now you're making me want to go someplace completely different, because where I was going to go was, okay, so you have these people who, it's second nature to them to talk about it, to use tools, to do whatever, being introduced into almost every single organization where that's really not second nature. Like, people may be using them, but they haven't really, like, people have full-time jobs, right? They're not using AI all day. Like, what's it like to have this person come in? But now the way you just said that, Ruth, now I'm almost like, okay, now I'm imagining the college student coming in and saying, I know everything about AI. Like I've got it all figured out. And again, our mature little podcast here,
Mm-hmm.
um, we know that they barely know anything because it's a moving target and it's still growing and it's still everything else. So that's a whole different angle, like tempering their enthusiasm to be like, that's just AI. What are you talking about?
Well,
Like,
can you imagine having a degree in Excel? I mean,
That
it's
I
that's
do.
cool.
exactly
I
that
do.
was going to be my point. It's like, okay, I'm coming out to get hired on as a landscaper. I only know how to use the blower. It's like, no, you're not going to get the job, man. You got to rake, you got to shovel, you got to be able to do piping, you got to be able to, come on, you can't just use the blower. You can't expect someone to come out of college and go, I'm just going to be the AI guy. It's like, that's not a role yet. Applying AI and learning how to apply, and maybe in a project management or in risk management, in process improvement,
In marketing,
in
like
marketing,
absolutely in marketing.
those are definitely spots where it will is a tool to help you do that. And I just don't understand. Is this going to be the guy with, yeah, I got a tool for that, and he's just walking around AI this, AI that, AI that. But what do you? I I
So,
don't know.
so
Like a facilities guy, you know?
I, I'm just curious. When you came out of college, did you feel like I know my stuff? Because
Yeah, I knew how to wait on tables.
I came out and I immediately was like, they didn't teach me anything. Like,
Yeah,
holy cow, this
I
this
knew how to
actual stuff
bartend.
they do in this company is way different than the stuff they taught me to do.
Yeah,
But I love, Kyle, your point, which is, I mean, can AI really be its own major, or should it be an overlay across every other major?
hmm
Because, if you're a researcher, you should know how to use AI in research.
Yeah.
If you're in you should know how to use AI in development. If you're an accountant, you should know how to use AI in reconciliation. I mean, all of those pieces make sense, but to have like an that's like I have a degree in using Word or
yeah.
PowerPoint.
My
I
my
mean, to me, it feels
Well, hold it. So you're mocking having a degree in Excel and you mocked
no,
having a degree in
no
Word.
no
But
no,
if I have a degree in Office 365, am I good?
no. You
Like,
don't
is
have a
that
degree in Office here 360. Don't even. th- but there are practical examples where you could have. I can understand an undergrad, like no, not an undergrad, a second major or a focus in AI technology or something like
yes,
I have a law degree with AI implications, like because that's a whole channel that's open up. A good friend of mine, his daughter just graduated, or not just graduated, but graduated and now is in with a law firm that's all about technology and technology law, and it's like that's like okay, but they're still a lawyer first, right? They got their law
right,
degree
right,
and then put the overlay of AI technology, same way as you get a computer science degree or a project management degree or human resource degree and have your AI on top of that, that you've leveraged those tools and you understand the implications of what that means to the job, to the role, to the expertise of how to use it. It's not a degree in and of itself.
so? Well, so let's differentiate because if you say machine learning is analogous to AI, that's a degree. Like you can be a machine
100%.
learning, geek and be really valuable, right? There's like
So, but
specializations.
that's called, it's already a name for that, the data scientist or the data
Data
analyst.
scientist, right?
Yeah.
And that's
That,
why I'm like, for you to carve out this tiny little thing in data science, which is AI, and well, I mean, and generative AI alone, I mean, that's even smaller. And is it tiny? No. I mean, it has this huge impact, but at the same time, I love your point, Kyle, which is you need to be an accountant first. You need to know the fundamentals of accounting or of law or of data
mhm.
or of technology. I mean, if you're going to be a machine learning person, I mean, some of that is math. I mean, some really strong
Yeah.
mathematicians who are building and having AI literacy, I think, is absolutely important. But to have an AI discipline feels a little, and maybe I'm just not seeing it because,
Too soon.
and they
It-
might be like, boomer. Um,
yeah.
Although I'm Gen X.
Yeah. Except I guess if someone's going to pay me, what was it, 250 million for the next, the guy who was going to work at, was it Facebook? No.
Those guys who were getting $1 billion packages, yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meta. I think it was Meta.
Those would be
What
data
was their
scientists
title?
as mathematicians.
They were data scientists, AI experts, right?
Correct.
I don't think they were, I mean, everyone says, oh, they were hired to do AI, but yeah, but I think they have a little more chops behind it than just AI.
For
I
sure.
think, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Way
So,
more. To
so
understand the underpinnings, I mean, it's very similar in our industry. I mean, how you make the sausage versus how you sell the sausage, or how you sell, or originate that sausage, is very, very different. And so somebody who understands how to build technology for our industry is, you know, they have a wide variety of disciplines that they are bringing to bear, from risk to compliance to technology to, knowing how to calc APR, how to calc, it's not exactly easy.
So
you know what? I'm going to equate this one other way, kind of the backwards way. We're looking, we have opportunities for, for people at our company that are going to be Encompass administrator, designer, developer, that kind of stuff. So if you take that as, say, a developer, and you add to it, oh, they have to have Encompass, they have to have more. And even if you have Encompass experience, do you have mortgage experience? Like, you have to be almost a mortgage professional first to really succeed in that role, and like to hit it, not a 90-day burn, not a 6-month burn. To really get in and be helpful, you really have to understand the mortgage industry and all its nuances, and then be a data scientist, or then be a developer, or then be those things. And I think there's a lot of industries where this same issue is there, which is you got to be a professional in the industry first, and then you can apply AI to it. Because if you just go waltzing in, hey, look at me, I got AI, and you go trying to make changes to their process, to get rid of people. Well, who was our favorite company that got rid of all the salespeople? Klarna. Yeah. I mean, and then they had to hire a lot of them back.
I should say what their stock price is every time we come on.
What is it?
I don't know.
Did it go
But
up?
you also, I mean, if you are, let's say that you are a data scientist and you are coming into one of these places, and, your role is to help unpack predictive analytics, sentiment analysis. I mean, those things don't really require a mortgage background, but to get to where you want to go fast, you do need to understand the context of why people want the solution that you're going to offer. And that's always been, I think, a challenge in our industry, that quite often mortgage people aren't good at translating that into technology, and technologists aren't really good at really understanding why we have such sometimes archaic and difficult processes, and why we do things the way that we did. And it's because we used to fasten it and carry it around in carts.
So
we're salespeople governed by compliance and government. I can't. What other salespeople are governed by the government? Can you think of any? Maybe pharmaceutical sales.
I'm sure they're. If I asked ChatGPT, it would tell me.
You think about it. You got salespeople, and you know as well as I do, some of the mortgage salespeople that I know are some of the best salespeople you'll ever get, and they're not the ones you want, like, deciding what's going to happen in technology and all this stuff. But they have a government agency telling them how they're supposed to do their business, but they're great salespeople. It's like, wow. Yeah, I don't know.
I can say banking, insurance, financial advisory, every single one of those, but they're all kind of in our world.
That's
right?
our space.
I mean,
yeah.
When you deal with people's wealth and money, there is an expectation that you have some knowledge, and that you are not going to hurt people. So I would say in those particular areas, but I'm sure there are others. It's just,
just like with stocks and annuities and everything else, you had to get your Series 6, you had to get your Series
So,
licensing for selling all these things. Well, we got our NMLS, right? You had to get licensed, so it's the same thing, but we just took a while for the for the
so,
mortgages to get theirs. Yeah, took a
so
crisis for us to get that. Yeah.
let me give the New York Times some credit. One of the quotes is from somebody that runs the MIT Schwarzman College of Computing. And they said students who prefer to work with data to address problems find themselves more drawn to an AI major. And then they go on to talk about healthcare and biology majors, right? That this is compelling. And I'll just say, at no age anywhere near college did I ever think of solving things with data. That concept was just like way beyond my thinking. So we must be talking about really smart people here. But my question is like, well, I'm gonna go the other end of the spectrum. Like, is it possible that in this portion of people who are doing AI majors, that these are all the Sheldon Coopers of the world? Like, these are the great minds, and this is where they belong, solving things with data. Because I've said before, when I went and did the thing where I learned how LLMs work and how it's all math, and it's math on top of math on top of math, and it's like crazy math. I was just like blown away, like how smart these mathematicians are that they came up with all this, right? And maybe we're poo-pooing it because we look at the things we're trying to build. Like we're people who try to solve problems with AI, but maybe this is really all about those people who are just such nerds in a good way that this is how they can actually contribute best.
Well, but I'm going to say, and I'll continue to go back to the fact that, and this is what Kyle was talking about, companies are looking for domain expertise plus AI fluency, not an abstract AI fluency alone, right? They're just not. And I think that, if there can be people who are, putting stuff up on Hugging Face and they're building all of those pieces, and that's how they are playing around and but I don't know that that's what all of these majors are actually about.
Yeah, and listen, we all know that there's it's a spectrum, of course. The reality is there's people giving out garbage AI majors, and there's people doing crazy intense things, right?
If somebody came to you and said, Mario, would you hire me? I have an AI major. What would be your first question?
What else do you know?
So I will give a little analogy, which is somebody that I used to work with. His son went to college, and during his undergrad degree, he was exceptionally smart. And I think they already knew he was exceptionally smart. He had done an original math proof. Like, he had made up a math proof that had never been done while he was in high school. Okay, smart kid.
Mm-hmm.
Very theoretical. $250,000 out of undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly a theory, but presumed to be so smart that we'll find a way. We'll find a way to make use of you, right? That kind of brain. Look at the big brain on Brad. Like, that kind of brain is going to be useful somewhere.
But having systems thinking, that kind of applied reasoning, those type of things makes a whole lot of sense to me, because I don't know how to think that way, right? I mean, if you were to say, go build this, I would not know how to go build. I wouldn't even know how to start thinking about building it. Yeah. But, a lot of people are just going to teach a little bit of, like I said, what's an LLM, a little bit of prompt engineering, and here's a group project in Jupyter. Go. And that's not a 4-year degree.
So if those who can't teach, who's teaching these majors?
I don't know. Hopefully data scientists.
Wow, that's like esoteric. If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it,
in the virtual forest,
it does make a sound, but nobody hears it. Oh boy.
I was trying to get us out on a high note, Kyle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drag us down.
No.
Yeah. Listen, I have no problem with people going and learning the most interesting thing that is out there, the emerging technologies. I just hope that they are tethering it to something that allows them to apply. And, how many people are these $250,000 out of school geniuses? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a whole bunch of them. They certainly weren't educated during the pandemic. I can tell you that.
They weren't in my
Poor
school.
kids. What's that?
They weren't in my school.
Well, I'll tell you what. You spend $250,000 these days. You either have a law degree, a medical degree, or not even medical, like pre-med.
No, you get like to be a dental hygienist for 250,000 now.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm
it's
aging myself.
expensive. I don't. I feel so.
Inflation.
These kids, how they're doing it. Whew.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Okay, not to mention that. You know how many of the kids had these majors that were just kind of out there.
Basket weaving.
And I think they got hoodwinked by administrators who put them in things because they just wanted more kids. I mean, like I got declined to go into I think I was just going for a business at Colorado State. They said no. And so what did I do? I applied in chemical engineering. I got in. It's like, so you think going up harder it would be, but I had good math skills. So I got into chemical engineering. What did I do? I transferred to the business college. It's like I used it as a channel to get in. So I'm just wondering how many of these people are going to have, well, I went in as an AI student and now, or I went in as a business, now I'm going to AI or AI to business. But you really need both. If you want to succeed and you don't know where you're going to use AI, my advice is get a business, economics, programming, something in business and business relationships, and then get the AI as a bunch, heavily loaded in your classwork, in your electives. I know that sounds crazy. In your electives of AI. All my electives were chemistry because I started chemical engineering. So on that note, Ruth, do you have? Yeah, I know. I am not as. Boy, you have a big thumb and finger. That is a big L. Yeah. That's a big L. So on that note, I'm going to say I'm Kyle Myers.
I'm Ruth Lee.
And I'm still Mario De Benedetto.
And this has been the AI Riff.
Wires hum like whispers in the deep dark night. Shadows dancing strange under neon light. Digits spinning fast like a gambler's hand. The clock chimes change, it's the new command. Oh, the future calls with a voice so clear. A melody of progress in every ear. No turning back, the wheels in motion. A tide of cold like the endless ocean. Binary prophets riding fading streams. Data flows like rivers fueling all our dreams. Simple or savvy, it's all the same path. Under skies of innovation, we redraw the map. Oh, the future calls with a voice so clear. A melody of progress in every ear. No turning back, the wheels in motion. A tide of cold like the endless ocean. Set the rhythm to the beat of change we sing. Every click and hum a key that rings. A revolution, quiet, but it's vast. Building empires where echoes of futures cast. Oh, the future calls with a voice so clear. A melody of progress in every ear. No turning back, the wheels in motion. A tide of cold like the endless ocean.